Hey, thanks for joining us for another Coffee with Waymark. Today, we're going to repeat a similar format that we did the last Coffee with Waymark, where we're actually going to have all three of us chime in on one topic. Today's topic, we're going to talk about financial advice that we wish we had had 10 years ago. Now, each one of us is 10 years apart from the other, and so I think it will be interesting to hear what Hanifa knew or should have known at age 21 versus me at age 41 when it was 10 years ago for me. So we'll start with Hanifa and see what she wished she knew 10 years ago.
Yeah, at the age of 21, I wish I knew that it's not necessarily about how much money you make, but about how much you save. At 21, you're just starting out in your career, might be an internship, first job, whatever it is. You're not really making a lot of money. But when you add up all these little expenses, whether it's Ubers or DoorDash or whatever it is, those add up very quickly. And something I realized at that age is that a lot of people like to blame it on, oh, okay, if I make more money, I can save more. And they kind of take the personal aspect out of it. They remove themselves from the situation. But we've seen so many examples of, people making really good money and not really having a lot to show for it. And then we've also seen the opposite, where someone might just be making, below the median or average amount and they have a lot saved. So that's one thing that I wish I knew 10 years ago is save more and don't necessarily focus on how much you're making.
Excellent. Good advice. Brandon, what do you got from your tender age of 31? What would you have told your 31-year-old self?
I would say that the credit card companies don't offer rewards points out of the kindness of their hearts, meaning, they know they're going to get their money back one way or another. They're just trying to entice you to use the card more. And they know statistically, if you put something on a credit card, you are way more likely to spend more money than if you were to just use your debit card or dare I say cash to actually make a purchase. So they know that well in advance, and it's much easier to rack up that credit card debt than it is to get out of it. So I would say stay out of credit card, even though you tell yourself, I'm just going to pay it off, or I pay it off each month. Even if you pay it off each month, the credit card company is still winning. And they also have the flexibility to change what those points actually mean and keep that in mind. A point today might not mean a point tomorrow or a dollar for tomorrow. So be very wise when using a credit card.
Got it. Good advice there too. And for me, I would have told my 41-year-old self, don't get too enamored with alternative investments. So what I mean by that is it seems like what I've learned over the past 10 years is that the tried and true, um, boring, low cost, diversified portfolios typically outperform those that are, more sexy. So whether it's a long short fund or a real estate investment fund or a business development company, like all of those have really, really good stories, but I feel like it was a lot more sizzle and not as much steak. There was a lot of marketing speak around those types of investments, but when you just took a look at how they compared to just a traditionally managed portfolio, they usually underperformed. So a lot of times boring is a lot better than sexy. So that's what we have for today. Hopefully, you'll take at least one of those nuggets and be able to apply it to your own personal situation. And remember, thanks again for joining us, and remember to be well and do good.